They step into your life like a refreshing breeze, bringing with them an alluring fragrance and sweet promises. But then, when the breeze passes, you find yourself standing in the midst of a barren desert. Love has turned to dust, and your heart bleeds from invisible wounds. Who are they? They are wives who embody the traits of narcissists, drama queens with icy hearts and enormous egos. They manipulate, control, and wear you down day by day with cunning tactics, leaving you trapped in self-doubt, guilt, and a loss of your true self. In this video, we will unveil the 10 cruel behaviors that narcissistic wives often inflict on their husbands. Join me as we lift the veil, recognize these phantoms disguised as angels, and reclaim your freedom. She uses her appearance to seduce you. Let's rewind time and go back to that fateful moment when you first met her. Didn't she appear like an angel, making your heart skip a beat, convincing you that you had found your perfect other half? With her alluring appearance and refined speech, she overwhelmed you with suggestive smiles and accidental touches that sent shivers down your spine. She skillfully guided you into a world of fiery passion, a sense of euphoria you thought only existed in dreams. But wake up, my friend. Everything was just a calculated act of baiting, only this time it played out on that soft bed. Narcissistic women often wield seduction as a powerful weapon to achieve their goals. They can set you ablaze with provocative outfits, sensual gestures, and honeyed words. However, their seduction differs from those with histrionic personalities. While histrionics seek attention at all costs, narcissists are more selective with their targets. They are like sharpshooters, aiming at high-value prey. Wealthy, powerful, prestigious individuals, or simply those with qualities they covet. Before unleashing their tactics to take you down, she has studied you thoroughly, like a seasoned predator stalking its prey. She evaluates your financial standing and gauges your empathy level, as she needs a partner who can provide abundant resources and who will always defend, justify, or even deceive themselves to maintain the facade she painstakingly constructs. She will then test you with unexpected situations and mind-bending psychological games to discover your limits. It could be a sudden family crisis or being misunderstood and slandered by colleagues. She'll cry her heart out, playing the pitiful victim, exploiting your compassion to achieve her goals. At the same time, she will skillfully reward your devotion with sweet promises and romantic nights just for the two of you. You are mesmerized by her eloquence, by her seemingly feminine vulnerability. Once you fall into her trap, she will unexpectedly feign withdrawal, making you crave her even more. In reality, this is a calculated move to put you on the defensive, forcing you to chase after her and beg for her attention. She will tighten her grip on you with a tear grip performance. She may accuse you of hurting her or simply act as the fearful victim, scared of being hurt again. All of this is designed to awaken your rescuer instinct, making you feel responsible for protecting and healing her emotional wounds. She will skillfully extract promises from you, vows of undying love, absolute loyalty, and once you've uttered those heartfelt words, you are completely ensnared in her web. You've been hooked masterfully, becoming prey in the love game she orchestrated. Once you've taken the bait, you'll find yourself caught in a vortex of control and exploitation. You'll be used, drained of energy, spirit, and even material resources. More frighteningly, narcissists lack the capacity for shame or remorse. Even when unmasked, they will never admit their faults. Instead, they'll shift the blame to their victim or flip the narrative to protect their inflated egos. She constantly belittles you. After marriage and living together, have you ever felt like an athlete running on an endless track where the finish line keeps moving further away? That's exactly how it feels when you're caught in the comparison game of a narcissistic wife. She will relentlessly compare you to those around you, colleagues, neighbors, friends, even her own family members. Anyone who crosses her path, whether they're particularly successful or simply have a quality that stands out more than you, becomes a benchmark for her to weigh and measure against you. Look at Mr. X. He's already a director and he's only in his early 30s. Why can't you be more like Mr. Y? He's so eloquent and chivalrous. See Mr. Z. He works out regularly and has a perfect six-pack. These comparisons repeat like a broken record, leaving you feeling inferior, inadequate, and worthless. Her goal isn't to motivate you to improve, but to diminish you, to make you feel insecure and perpetually trapped in self-doubt and shame. She wants you to constantly chase the standards she sets, expectations you can never fully meet. Even if you give your all to better yourself and meet her demands, she will still find new flaws, new reasons to criticize and belittle you. This creates a toxic cycle where you're always the loser in her eyes. The harder you try, the more exhausted you become, and the more she takes satisfaction in feeding her own ego. She makes you feel like you are always the problem. In a relationship with a narcissistic wife, you, as the husband, will constantly feel haunted by the notion that you are the problem, the burden, the cause of all the issues. Am I always disappointing you? Do I ever do anything right? Is it my fault? These self-doubting and guilt-ridden questions will replay endlessly in your mind, eroding your confidence and leaving you drowning in guilt. This happens because she, the narcissistic wife, will never stop reminding you of your shortcomings, your mistakes, no matter how trivial they may be. She will always find ways to criticize, belittle, and diminish you, making you feel incompetent, useless, and inadequate. Why did you leave the dishes here? Can't you pick a different brand? You always mess everything up. These complaints, accompanied by sarcastic rhetorical questions, become a daily menu in your life. No matter how much effort you put into improving yourself or trying to please her, it will never be enough. Her goal isn't to help you become better, but to make you feel perpetually at fault, constantly responsible for every issue in the relationship. She wants you to believe that you are the problem, the reason she's unhappy. She wants you to live in self-doubt and guilt so that she can more easily manipulate and control you. If you are enduring such toxic words, remember this: it is not your fault. Don't let those lies destroy your confidence and self-esteem. Be brave, stand up for yourself, and seek the happiness you truly deserve. She unleashes her negative emotions on you. Do you know what it feels like to become someone's emotional trash can, forced to bear the pain and trauma they've accumulated over the years? That's exactly what you endure when living with a narcissistic wife. All the misfortunes and suffering she's faced, childhood wounds, broken relationships, career failures, are projected onto you. You become the scapegoat for the pain she cannot handle on her own. She will blame you for every misfortune in her life, even when you had nothing to do with it. She uses her painful past as a shield to justify her abusive, manipulative, and controlling behavior. It's because of you that I'm like this. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be suffering like this. You must take responsibility for everything I've been through. These unreasonable accusations become your daily mental diet, something you're forced to swallow over and over again. Even if you try to reason with her, explain your side, or stand up for yourself, it only escalates her lectures and the severity of her punishments. In her eyes, you have no right to speak up or defend yourself. You become trapped in a web of psychological manipulation and emotional abuse, isolated and entirely under her control. Over time, you lose your confidence, self-esteem, and even faith in yourself. She appears emotionally empty. Communicating with a narcissistic wife often feels like standing before an icy fortress. There's no warmth, no emotional connection to be found. She comes across as empty, soulless, like a dark mirror reflecting only your own image without any sense of feeling or understanding. No matter how hard you try to share your emotions or express the pain she's caused, you'll be met with indifference and coldness. What do you want from me? We're talking, aren't we? What more do you expect? This is the kind of response you'll get when you try to reach her heart. The truth is, she has nothing to give. Inside, she carries a vast emptiness. From a young age, she was forced to suppress her emotions, burying her truest feelings. To her, showing emotions equates to revealing weakness, and weakness is something a narcissist cannot accept. As a result, she learned to freeze her heart and construct a perfect facade to hide her internal wounds and insecurities. Don't expect empathy, shared feelings, or comfort from a narcissistic wife. She lacks the ability to truly understand or care about your emotions because she herself has never experienced those things fully. She is competitive and thrives on winning. For a narcissist, competition is not just a game, it's a stage where they can showcase their superiority and assert their dominance. Narcissistic women are no exception. They have an insatiable desire to win in every race, big or small. Whether it's in work, academics, or social relationships, they want to prove that they are the best, the smartest, the most beautiful, and the most admired. Competition becomes a drug that fuels their ego. Every time they defeat a rival, they feel stronger, more powerful, and more special. However, their drive to compete doesn't come from a spirit of self-improvement or a love of learning. It's rooted in a deep fear of being outdone and an overwhelming need for recognition. They live in constant insecurity, worrying that others might steal their spotlight. As a result, they are willing to do whatever it takes to win, even if it means resorting to dirty tricks or sabotaging others. They don't hesitate to undermine, criticize, or even smear others to elevate themselves. To them, competition isn't a fair game. It's a survival battle where only the strongest can prevail. And they, as queens of narcissism, relentlessly crave standing at the pinnacle of victory. She turns physical intimacy into a tool for manipulation. In the hands of a narcissist, physical intimacy, meant to be a bond of love, becomes a sharp weapon for manipulation and punishment. At first, they might use physical attraction as bait to seduce and captivate you. They generously shower you with affectionate gestures, sweet words, and passionate attention, making you believe in the illusion of a fiery love. But once you've taken the bait, you'll gradually face a harsh reality. They begin to withdraw, becoming cold, distant, and even refusing your needs for physical closeness. Every rejection leaves you hurt, disheartened, and questioning yourself. Am I no longer attractive? What did I do wrong? Is there something wrong with me? These nagging doubts torment your mind, eroding your confidence and making you feel worthless. This is precisely the narcissist's intention. They aim to use intimacy as a tool to control and punish you, keeping you trapped in anxiety, fear, and dependence on them. They want you to believe that your natural desires are wrong, shameful, and something you must pay for. They isolate you, making you feel lonely, disconnected, and convinced that you are the problem in the relationship. She always makes you feel inadequate. In the narcissistic wife's fantasy world, she is the beautiful, regal princess deserving of a perfect prince. And you're just an ordinary man, unworthy of her exalted status. If only I had married Mr. A, I made a mistake choosing you. You're so incompetent, incapable of achieving anything worthwhile. These harsh words and disdainful comparisons become the daily diet of your emotional life, something you're forced to swallow each day. She constantly reminds you of your inferiority, of the things you can't do, and of the dreams you'll never achieve. Her goal is to make you feel insecure, self-doubting, and driven to prove your worth to her. You may find yourself diving into work, earning money, and striving for the successes she demands. But in the end, you'll realize that no matter how hard you try, it will never be enough to satisfy her royal expectations. Because, in her eyes, you'll always be a failure, undeserving of her love and respect. And when you're exhausted and broken, she will dole out false comfort and sweet promises, only to subject you once again to her unreasonable demands. Remember, your worth does not depend on someone else's judgment. Don't let those toxic words destroy your confidence and self-esteem. You deserve to be loved and valued for who you truly are, not for what you can achieve or provide. She deliberately starts arguments with you. Living with a narcissistic wife means constantly bracing yourself for storms of criticism and baseless accusations. A single glance, a small gesture, or an unintended comment is enough for her to seize on and ignite a conflict. Are you upset with me? Are you looking at me like that? You seem unhappy. Are you mad at me? These relentless questions and unreasonable accusations leave you feeling confused, uncomfortable, and eventually exasperate. When you finally take the bait and react to her provocations, she masterfully switches to playing the victim. My gosh, why are you yelling at me? How could you treat me so horribly? At this point, you find yourself apologizing, lowering yourself to appease her. Even though you're unsure of what you've done wrong, in reality, it's all part of a script written by the narcissistic wife. She intentionally lights the fire for arguments, creating artificial conflicts to satisfy her need for drama and control. She wants you to get angry, to lose control, so she can turn the tables, blame you, and make you feel guilty. This guilt becomes a tool she uses to make you pay for your supposed wrongdoings. When you're emotionally drained and defeated, she wins with a satisfied smile. For her, the ultimate reward is successfully manipulating you and turning you into a puppet under her control. She constantly threatens divorce. I'll divorce you. Let's split up. Just wait. I'll leave you. These words are not merely outbursts of anger, but gradually become a familiar refrain in a marriage with a narcissistic wife. At first, hearing such threats might leave you shocked, anxious, or even deeply insecure. But as they occur more frequently, repeated to the point of habit, you may grow desensitized, eventually accepting them as a normal part of the relationship. It's like living near a train track. The noise is unsettling at first, but over time you grow accustomed to it, barely noticing it anymore. Yet, in this marriage, becoming accustomed to threats of abandonment doesn't mean finding peace. Every time those threats are uttered, they leave invisible cracks in your soul. They erode trust, suffocate love, and gradually make you question yourself. Am I at fault? Am I unworthy of love? Can this relationship even be saved? These lingering doubts gnaw away at your confidence and your hopes for a happy future. Whether or not the narcissistic wife actually intends to divorce, using such threats as a tool to control and manipulate you is already a toxic weapon. It not only makes you feel powerless, but also disrupts the balance of the relationship. A marriage built on fear can never bring happiness. Remember, true love isn't about being held hostage by threats, it's about genuine partnership and mutual care. Don't let these threats destroy your self-respect or rob you of your inner peace. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. If you notice these signs in your relationship, the most important thing is to take a moment to listen to yourself. Do you feel respected and loved? A healthy relationship should never make you feel oppressed, controlled, or as though you've lost your sense of self-worth. Remember, in any relationship, mutual understanding, respect, and sincere communication form the foundation of stability. When these are replaced by manipulation, threats, or control, it's time to seriously reflect and protect yourself. Don't hesitate to establish clear boundaries. Boundaries aren't selfish, they are a way to love yourself and create a safe space within the relationship. If you feel trapped and uncertain about your next steps, seek help from mental health professionals, trusted family members, or friends. Remember, you are not alone, and there are people out there who are ready to listen and help you regain balance and trust in yourself. You deserve happiness and a peaceful life. No matter how challenging the situation may seem, always remember that the power to change lies within you. Be patient with yourself, take one step at a time to break free from the negative cycle and move toward a brighter future. If you found this content helpful, please hit like and share it so that others can benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more meaningful and practical videos. Continue to take care of yourself, believe in your worth, and always remember that you deserve to be loved in the best possible way. See you in the next videos. Stay strong and be at peace.